great news from yesterday in terms of the opening of America. We couldn't be more thrilled. I want to thank and recognize my dear friend and colleague Roger Dow, who worked so tirelessly on that effort, along with the administration. Fantastic, and getting us together for the first time. It's great to see you all in person. I also want to thank and recognize our greater team in California, our California delegation. I've seen a few of you pop in, but I think it's important for the media to know you're here. So if you're, part of the California delegation, if you guys can just stand for a minute. We have a few destination CEOs. There they are. So again, great from north to south here, a lot of south. So they're here. We actually have one of the largest delegations here, all to hopefully have some really strong engagement with you guys over the next several days. Yesterday's news was just incredible for all of us in the United States, and I'm hearing out of the UK that there's been already a 700% increase in USA holiday searches just since yesterday. So I think, as Roger often refers to it, that travel, the inspiration of travel is something that is in always demand despite restrictions, and it's like a coiled spring. And I think we're seeing that, with just one indicator, much less we'll all be getting those indicators over the next several days. So I have 3 headlines for you that I'm going to cover in the next 20 minutes, and that is California's open for business. We have laid out a plan and schedule and quite a robust activation to inspire people to think of California as we're rolling out the red carpet of a variety of new product experiences up and down the state. So I'll cover those 3 important headlines kind of in that order, and we'll just start with the fact that even despite the pandemic, California remained the #1 travel destination in the United States. We certainly had our challenges, but as you can see on the next slide, it's still going to be a full period of time through 2024 when we anticipate the pre-COVID recovery. You all know that we had 10 record years of travel spending leading up until that, and it's largely the international and the professional meetings and events sector that's really going to tip us into that 2024 time period. Just with international alone, it's such an important part of California's visitation mix on a variety of fronts. Our 4 gateway cities that were the biggest impacted during COVID, fully 77% of international travelers stay in and spend money in those cities. So very, very important. The spending you can see here is huge for us. Important in terms of travelers staying longer, traveling during shoulder and off-season seasons, but again, the spending piece of it, the per caps are so important in terms of the visitor mix. Again, just to lay the foundation, prior to COVID, we had presence in 14 international markets that we put in essentially into a suspense, or what we called internally a candle in the window strategy. And so that we could definitely look to turning on those markets at the appropriate times, such as important announcements like yesterday. So if you can see from the next slide, you'll see how really we're segmenting those markets, really focused on 3 variables that we looked at domestically when we were in this situation several months ago, but always looking at the consumer sentiment, the issue around safety, as well as the economic opportunity. Those 3 variables gave us really the forecasting to be able to understand which were the most important at various times, depending on where those variables netted out. So you can see right now that we are focused on Mexico, Canada, and now with yesterday's announcement, the UK, France, and Germany. Throughout the pandemic and even in this suspense period, our team continued to meet with key airline partners, for example. So we're actually not only reactivating those discussions, but in advanced discussions and at the starting line, again, given yesterday's announcement, with many of the partners that you see here on the screen. So with that, I want to talk a little bit